Good afternoon, everybody. How are you? Is everybody happy? सब लोग ठीक है? सब लोग खुश हैं? Okay. Myself, Shiv Prasad sir, from Shubhra Singh Children Academy. Students, once again welcome to my YouTube channel. Today, that is on 11th September 2020. Dear students, in today's 12th economics lecture, my dear students, as you know already, that in the last lecture I had started your fourth chapter, that is government budget. In the last lecture we had discussed about government budget, the concept of government budget, as well as we had started the objectives of government budget. Students, in the objectives of government budget, we had discussed the first two objectives, that is GDP growth and allocation of resources. So like this, in the last lecture, the first objectives of government budget were discussed. So this lecture is the continuation of the last lecture itself, that is government budget. The chapter's name is government budget and the economy. Government budget and the economy. And today's topic which we are going to discuss is that objectives of government budget. So the chapter number 4, which is already started in the last lecture, government budget and the economy. Government budget and the economy. In this, today's topic is objectives of government budget. Objectives of government budget. My dear students, as I told you, in the last lecture we had finished the first two objectives, that is GDP growth, it was finished in the last lecture, as well as the second point, allocation of resources. It was also discussed in the last lecture. So like this, so far in this chapter, government budget and the economy, we have started the question in the last lecture, that is objectives of government budget, and we have finished the first two points. Today let's start with the third point, that is provision of public goods. Provision of public goods. Provision of public goods. It is the third point or the third objective which we are going to discuss today. First two objectives already finished, that is GDP growth as well as allocation of resources. So let's start today's lecture with our third objectives, that is provision of public goods. Students, if we talk about the public goods, the provision of the public goods, so the meaning is very simple. Public goods are such goods which are utilized by the public. Those are called as public goods. Normally what happens that government, the supply and demand forces in a market economy do not allow enough the production of the public goods. These are the goods which satisfy collective needs of the people. Law and order and defense of the country are important examples of public goods. I told you that normally demand and supply do not allow that more production of the public goods. Example also I gave you that law and order and the defense, it is an example of public goods. So while framing the budget, while the planning for the next accounting year, government makes the provisions for the public goods. It is through budgetary allocation of funds that these goods are sufficiently provided to the people. The same thing I told you that government keeps in mind that there should be the proper provision for the public goods because it is must, it is necessary for the public. Now, the next one which we are going to discuss in the series of objectives of government budget is redistribution of income and wealth. Redistribution of income and wealth. Dear students, with the objective of this, that is a redistribution of income and wealth, the government's main objective is equalization. So, how this redistribution of income and wealth is done by the government? Very simple. Government want that poor people, they also should get encouragements. They also should get the chances of upcoming. They also should get the facilities. They also should get the resources. They also should get the basic amenities which are required for their growth and development. So, how it is done by government? Dear students, rich and poor, these are the two sections of the society. Rich people as well as poor people. So, government imposes high taxes. Government imposes high taxes on the rich people, and the revenue, that is tax revenue or we can say that money which government has received from these rich people, it will be distributed among poor people. Are you getting me? Listening properly, everybody? What did I say? I say that there are two sections in the society, rich people as well as poor people. Rich people as well as poor people. So government redistributes the income and wealth. And what is objective of the government behind doing this? The objective of government is that the poor section of the society, these poor people also, they should also come up. Their standard of living should also be uplifted. Their purchasing power should be increased. So they are already poor. So how their purchasing power will be increased? How their standard of living will be increased? I told you that government imposes high taxes on the rich people, and the tax revenue which government has received from the rich people, the same tax revenue, the same money will be distributed among the poor people. Distributed among poor people means what? That directly government will give money to them? No. There are other ways also. How? Say for example, in the form of subsidies. In the form of subsidies. The government will provide them subsidy or the scholarship or the pensions or the allowances. Are you getting me? Means government is charging high taxes, government is imposing the taxes on rich and getting subsidies to and giving subsidies to the poor by supplying food grains to BPL population. My dear students, it is also one of the examples that you know that रेशन कार्ड्स, जिसको आप बोलते हैं राशन कार्ड, तो बीपीएल फैमिलीज़ को फूड ग्रेन्स ये लो रेट पे गवर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करती है. Nowadays the ration is provided the free cost also without taking any money from the BPL card holders. Due to COVID-19, either low rate or free of cost. So these food grains, now you think that why these food grains are that they're provided, why this subsidy is given, why that scholarship is given? Because government want that there should be equal distribution of income and wealth. So taking from rich people and distributing among the poor people. Got it? This point is clear to all of you, that redistribution of income and wealth. Like this, my dear students, we finish the 4 objectives. The 5th one which we are going to discuss is balanced regional growth. Balanced regional growth. When we are talking about balanced regional growth, very simple explanation I am giving you. I am standing in front of you. So you assume, you picturize the map of our nation. Map. Jammu and Kashmir, Gujarat, over here Gujarat, over here the eastern states, over here that is southern states. Just I am telling you to picturize the map, the Indian map in your mind, and answer me a simple question. What do you think that in India, this eastern zone, this western zone, this above northern zone, and this below southern zone in the map of India, are they equally developed? Tell me, are they equally developed? No, they are not equally developed. So the question is, why so? Why so, that we will see later. But this is called imbalance. Regional imbalance means certain regions are developed, more developed. Certain regions are developing and certain still are underdeveloped or backward regions. So through budget, government plans that balanced regional growth. Government want that such regions which are developing, they should become developed. Which are backward or underdeveloped, they should come in the process of developing. And how it is done? How it is planned by the government? What is the criteria behind this? Government makes public expenditure, because government knows that in the backward regions the private sector will not be interested to set up their industries, to set up their companies. So government enters in that backward area, in that underdeveloped area. Government incurs public expenditure. Government tries to develop infrastructure over there. And after developing infrastructure facilities over there, government induces the private sector that come and make investment over here. Come and set up your industries in this area. So like this, government plans balance regional growth. I gave you the example on the basis of this infrastructure development or industrial development. Many a times it may happen that in that backward region, schools are not there, colleges are not there, hospitals are not there, transport facilities. In all, I told you the infrastructure, the basic requirements to develop any region. So all these are started, set up by the government, and government induces, government encourages the private sector also that come and start up over here. So got it? This one, balanced regional growth. So dear students, so far in this question, that is objectives of government budget, we have discussed GDP growth, our first point. Second, we discussed allocation of resources. Third one, we discussed provision of public goods. Then redistribution of income and wealth, and just now we discussed the balanced regional growth. The second last one which we are going to discuss is employment opportunities. Employment opportunities. My dear students, it is one of the important objectives of government budget. Employment opportunities. Dear students, employment opportunities, when we are saying, let me rub this first, then I will be able to write it above. Employment opportunities means last 2 points which we are going to discuss to finish this question, that is objectives of government budget. Employment opportunity. Employment opportunity. Employment opportunity, as I told you, it is a sixth objective of government budget. It is a second last point for the day. Employment opportunity. Each and every government they plan, they target, they make the policies for employment opportunities, because as we know very well that in India unemployment or underemployment, it is one of the main social problems. It is the problem of our nation. And nowadays you must have learned, that must have that come across through the news and newspaper, that due to COVID-19, lakhs and lakhs of people, crores of people, they have become unemployed, jobless. No doubt it is due to pandemic, due to this COVID-19. But I am talking about the objectives of government budget, that whenever government makes budget, what are its objectives? So government keeps in mind that our budget should be like this, that it should generate more and more employment opportunities. Means government the plans about the investment, as well as government encourages that that private sector also to make investment. Because of that, employment opportunities will be encouraged. Okay. One of the best examples that what government has done about employment opportunities, you must have heard about Manrega. Yes, Manrega. Manrega, and like this, so many that plans of the government are on the floor, similar that plans on the floor to reduce the unemployment problem of our nation. The last point of our objectives of government budget, which we are going to discuss, that is economic stability. Economic stability. Economic stability, it is a last point of this question, that is objectives of the government budget. My dear student, over here indirectly we are talking about economic cycle or the trade cycle. You must have learned earlier about this. You must have seen this diagram in books. It is called trade cycle. Trade cycle or economic cycle. This one is depression, called and this one, that which is at the top, it is called peak period. Peak period, or it is called boom period. Peak period or boom period. My dear students, economy is at the boom period means what? More and more goods are demanded as well as more and more goods are supplied. बूम पीरियड, जिसको हम हिंदी में बोलते हैं तेजी का पीरियड. इकोनॉमी अच्छा फ्लरिश हो रहा है, अच्छा ग्रोथ रेट देखने को मिल रहा है इकोनॉमी में. बट माय डियर स्टूडेंट्स, ऑलवेज वी विल हैव बूम पीरियड, ऑलवेज we will have peak period. It's not like that. We have to face the recession period also. So from this peak period, when we observe the downswing, this downswing in the economy, this downswing is called as recession period. Like nowadays we are facing recession problem due to COVID-19, means downswing, recession period is that period where most of the companies, most of the that industries, they shut down. They shut down their business, or they are compelled to shut their business. Example is in front of you, that because of COVID-19, many companies, many small scale industries, they have shut down their business. They have closed their business. So it is recession period. Suppose this recession continues, then डिप्रेशन पीरियड, मंदी का पीरियड. बट माय डियर फ्रेंड, हमेशा ऐसे ही नहीं रहता है. इकोनॉमी अपने आप को रिकवर भी करता है. तो ये एकदम डिप्रेशन से जब इकोनॉमी अपने को रिकवर करना शुरू करेगा, दिस इज कॉल्ड एज रिकवरी पीरियड. और रिकवरी करते करते फिर से पीक पीरियड, फिर से रिसेशन, फिर से डिप्रेशन, फिर से रिकवरी, ये चलता रहता है. इट इज इकोनॉमी. इट इज कॉल्ड एज ट्रेड साइकिल और इकोनॉमिक साइकिल. सो गवर्नमेंट प्लान्स, गवर्नमेंट्स ऑब्जेक्टिव इन बजट इज दैट वी शुड हैव इकोनॉमिक स्टेबिलिटी इन द नेशन. सो व्हाट शुड बी डन in recession, what should be done in depression? Government plans in the budget. So for example, depression means मंदी का पीरियड. अब इसमें से बाहर निकलने के लिए क्या करना पड़ेगा? गवर्नमेंट विल हैव टू मेक इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. तो जब गवर्नमेंट इन्वेस्टमेंट करेगी तो धीरे धीरे इकोनॉमी अपने आप को रिकवर करना शुरू हो जाएगा. रिकवर करते करते फिर से बूम पीरियड में आ जाएगा. तो ये सब प्रोविजंस हमारे गवर्नमेंट बजट में ऑलरेडी गवर्नमेंट प्लान करती है, ध्यान में रखती है. दीज आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्स ऑफ गवर्नमेंट बजट. दैट इज economic stability. There must be stability, and what should be done in such a case. Okay, so dear students, over here we have finished this question, that is objectives of government budget. Over here I would like to stop today. I hope you have understood this question. If any doubt, you can call me or you can write in the comment box. Okay, that's all for the day. Thank you very much for kind cooperation. Have a nice day.